Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing shack. If you watch my Monday Makes and Plans this week, you'll know that this video that I'm doing now should have been done last week. But Shirley, my ever reliable sewing machine, decided to conk on me and she was in the sewing machine hospital. So I wasn't able to do it. So what's this video about? It was set up by Michelle Sews Again because she's on the hunt for a new sewing machine and it's all been done under the hashtag sewing machine must-haves. So these are my sewing machine must-haves that I get when I'm using Shirley, that if I move on to another machine I must have and must take with me. But before we get into that, I thought I would delve backwards and tell you my sewing machine journey. My mum taught me to sew and she was called Shirley. That's why every sewing machine I have is called Shirley in memory of my mum. And when I was 21, she bought me my own sewing machine. Oh my God, it was the best gift I have ever been given. It was a good quality sewing machine for the age that it was, because they're all electronic now and it wasn't electronic. It was a Frister Rossmann, which was a very good German make, and there's an image of the machine that I did all my early sewing on. It had the dial on the front, it had a 4-step buttonhole, which was amazing for its time, and it was really quite a modern machine for its age. And I used it for years and years and years, never let me down. But I had a phase where I stopped sewing really, and I'm not really sure why. I think life just got in the way and it got pushed to the back of my priorities. And then, like a lot of people, we had lockdown with COVID. And I decided to get my machine. It was up in the loft. That's how often it was used. And see if it still worked. And it did for a little bit, but then it conked. And it was lockdown, so it wasn't like I could just chuck it in the back of the car and go to a repair shop and get it fixed. So when I had my lockdown birthday, my wonderful hubster had been and chatted to the lovely man at Lord's Sewing Machines in Accrington, which is a Brother dealership, and arranged for me. Well, he didn't go actually, had to talk to him on the phone because we were all in lockdown, weren't we? And he got a new sewing machine delivered. And it was the Brother Innovis A16. There's an image of it. And compared to what I had, wowzer, I thought it was amazing. It had an automatic threader. It did automatic buttonholes and all sorts of other little bits that obviously my old Frister Rossmann did not do. And I hammered that machine to death. It's still going strong. My friend is using it at the moment, but it is my spare sewing machine if I need it. And then 18 months ago, I decided now I was really back into sewing, I needed a bit more of a robust machine. So I then got this version of Shirley, which is the Brother Innovis NV1300. So that's my sewing machine journey. So move on now to what the actual video is meant to be about, shall we? My 5 essentials from Shirley that I use and I would need on a new machine, which we'll get onto next. So this is Shirley. This is the lid. You can see on the inside of the lid there are God knows how many decorative stitches that you can do on here. I can probably count, like a lot of people, I can probably count on one hand the number of stitches that I have used. I did have a play around when I first got the machine, like we all do. and I should really spend a bit more time and get to grips with them. But I think unless you're going to use them every day, they're not essential, are they? They're nice things. But what are the essential things that Shirley does that I can't live without? So the first thing is this. You can see this bar here that comes down. This is a knee lift. So let's get close. So you can see this is the presser foot. So if I put the presser foot down and I'm sewing, I've got my knee. I can do that with my knee and lift the bar to its highest point, let go, and it goes down. So I've not got to keep doing all this with my arm. And I use that a lot. Well, whenever I'm sewing. So a knee lift is a really good thing to have on a sewing machine. Let's think. Number 2. Oh, we'll talk about the bright green button next. This is the stop-start button. On Brother machines, or certainly on the Innovis range, you don't need your foot treadle. I've never used it. Well, I have actually. I only ever get that out if I do a few sewing lessons, and if I have a beginner sewer, then I put the foot treadle on when they first start learning. So the stops, but I don't. Stop-start button. Can't live without it. Number 3 is connected to the stop-start button, and it's this little speed dial slot, whatever you want to call it. So if I have it at that side, the machine is basically going to run at its slowest speed. And if I press the stop-start button, that's the speed that it's going to sew at. Because I've no foot treadle, I don't control the speed, this does. So you just set the speed to where you want it to be, press the start button, and that's the speed that it sews at. Really simple. If you put the foot treadle in, it also uses this speed as well, so you get even more control. So when you've got a beginner sewer who's not very good with the speed pressing on the foot treadle, you can turn this down. So when it's at its lowest speed, if they press the foot treadle, if they accidentally whack it really hard, it won't go any faster than the maximum speed set on that dial. So the speed dial is number 3. Number 4 is this machine has 2 little buttons at this side. One is for your auto back stitching. So if that little button's pressed, which always is with me, when I start sewing, it automatically does the little backwards and forwards locking stitches before it starts sewing. And then when I stop, it does it again. So I don't have to remember to lock my stitches off. And then if I also have the thread cutter button pressed, it does, when I stop, it does the auto back and cuts the threads. Bit of a game changer for me because I hate thread cutting when I'm sewing. So that helps. It doesn't eliminate it altogether, but it helps. So how many have we done now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, number 5, while we're whizzing through these, is the automatic buttonholer. I would say all modern machines have them. Some of them still have the 4-step buttonholer. This machine is fully automatic. You get this buttonhole foot with it, so you put your button in there and it measures the size of your button, and that affects the gauge at this side, like a lot of the older 4-step ones do. And then you put it on, and then there's a lever here that you pull down, and that then guides it through. So then the only other thing you have to do is, on here, there are 10 different styles of buttonhole that you can do. You just choose the one that you want, press the start button, I always slow down my speed to the middle, press the start button, and it you know what I mean? It does the buttonhole from start to finish. You do have to watch it. You do have to keep your hands round your fabric just to make sure that everything's moving smoothly. But it does brilliant buttonholes. So number 5 is a good buttonholer on the machine. So they're my 5. Simple as. And before I go, there's 2 little things I want to do. The first one is to nominate somebody else to do this vlog. And there's a reason I'm nominating this lady. She's not somebody who I know very well, but I know that she has got one of the machines that I'm lusting after. So I'm hopeful that she will do her sewing machine essentials review, and then it'll help me decide whether I need to be lusting after this machine or not. So the machine that I'm lusting after is this baby, and it's the Pfaff Creative 4.5, I think it is. Oh my goodness, love the look of it. And I don't know why I want it. I've been looking for a machine that sews and embroiders, and I'm just thinking that this Pfaff Creative will do everything that I need it to do for a long time. So the vlogger I want to nominate is Rachael from Stitched Up. So Rachael, please do a vlog on your Pfaff machine, and then I can decide whether it's one that I need to put on my wish list. So that's me done for this little vid. I will see you again on Saturday. Not sure what that one's going to be yet, but it'll be interesting. I hope. So I'm going to go and get some sewing done now. I'm starting my PR jacket today, so wish me luck. And I will see you on Saturday. Take care, everyone, and happy sewing.